Hello, friends, and welcome to the Weekend Catch Up Club, the coffee morning show brought to you live every Saturday at 10 a.m. and available later on catch up at youtube.com/gamertagged. Today, I am joined once again by a very special guest, a good friend of mine, and also a colleague. I'm joined by Sebastian Knapp. Welcome, buddy. How are you doing today?
Cheers, Josh. Thank you very much. Nice to be here. Welcome, everyone. I'm okay. Thank you very much. Yeah.
We have had quite a heck of a morning on a technical level, haven't we? Trying to sort
Oh,
out
yes.
connections and everything.
That's true. I honestly tried everything. I don't know why, but something is just not working on my side. That's why I could be a bit pixelated. Please don't mind that. I will try to resolve that later on. It seems to
Totally.
be something wrong with the configuration of the router
Yeah.
or even the Mac itself.
Exactly. Hey,
I mean, yeah.
don't you ever slag off a Mac. It's never the Mac's fault. Come on now.
It it depends on the configuration. I love Macs. I always been the fan of the Macs. As you already know, I think so the only person that usually use the Macs at our work. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So this morning we're going to have a good old blather about your background, our kind of relationship, because we're actually work colleagues, but you handle a lot of the technical side at Wood Mackenzie, which is the company I work for during the day job that we have.
yes,
But we've also got a couple of really exciting. Night jobs. I want to refer to it as. I do a lot of Twitch streaming. You do a radio show. So we're going to talk into that as well. But also, your background prior to Wood Mackenzie is what I'm most excited about. And I was thrilled when you first told me about that at Wood Mackenzie. And that is your history at Adobe. Now, anybody who is a creative, a photographer, an illustrator, a designer, filmmaker, whatever your field, your creative field, will be very familiar with Adobe products, especially the creative suite of packages. So, can you give us your background and your history at Adobe?
okay. That's quite a strange and funny story, as you can call it. I've got a big experience in technical support, customer service, and stuff like that. Before I start working for Wood Mackenzie, I worked for Adobe for 5 years. I was the senior technical support for video and design products.
Yep.
That's been quite a big, massive accomplishment from the site after I finished, the higher national certificate and higher national diploma in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Let me maybe just start from the beginning. Came to the UK about 14 years ago.
Yep.
No English, nothing at all. One-way ticket, no house, A4 format,
Yeah.
saying I'm looking for a job, and that was it. I was I was so lucky to find a person that owned O'Brien Irish Sandwich Bar on when the festival in Edinburgh
I
started
remember O'Brien's.
about
Yeah.
14, 15 years ago. And me standing in front of this shop with a A4 piece of paper saying I'm looking for a job. The guy was quite nice. He said, okay, I'm going to employ you. I'm gonna pay you the minimum wage,
Sure.
but I'm gonna teach you English. And that's mostly how I started 14
Ah.
years ago. After
Wow.
that, I rented my first house, managed to go to the supervisors of both of the stores, one in Lothian Road, maybe if someone stays in Edinburgh can still remember it,
Yeah. Yeah.
another one in the Rose Street, it's just on the middle of the Rose Street.
Mm-hmm.
Then I progressed forward with my technical stuff. I started studying at Stevenson College, finished a fast track HNC and HND that usually takes about 9 months on each of the code to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
completed.
So
In,
for
in
our
inter
viewers in the chat, an HNC and an HND is the Scottish equivalent of
it is,
it's called a higher national certificate and a higher
yeah,
national diploma. It's like one step below like a degree, and you
yes,
can use that to get into like university, and then if you want to choose a degree path, you can use that as a springboard, or you can go straight out into industry with a recognised quite a high level qualification, and that's what
yeah,
the HNC HND qualifies actually means. So
yeah. And then as soon as I finished them, I started to work in Comet. Maybe some of people that stay in the UK still remember the old good Comet at
Comet,
40
Currys and
there.
Dixons, the trifecta,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
yes, exactly. Then gained a bit more experience about everything. And then as soon as Comet went to administration,
Hmm.
I did went to Caris and PC World as a good way from my manager, because he knew the manager of Caris and PC World, and he said, I've got a really nice guy, he wants to join your team. And then mostly after that time, when I still was working at Caris and PC World, the full experience started with Adobe.
Yeah.
I met a person, a lady, that she came to the store, wanted to buy a glasses for her husband 3D television.
Yeah. So for our viewers, as you may remember, the advent of 3D TVs, where you got these like glasses that you put on, they were battery operated, and then you would get this like 3-dimensional kind of experience. So this person from Adobe came in looking to buy a new set of these 3D glasses for her husband, and you are the assistant that was helping her.
Yes, it was mostly like winning a lottery, because I approached her, can I help you? And she's like, yeah, I'm looking for the glasses for my husband television. And I'm like, yeah, I can help you with that. After that, I checked the stock and I compared the prices online. I was like, you know what? It would be cheaper if you go to Amazon and get those glasses, on Amazon, because we are quite expensive and we do not have them in stock. And she was like, you are a really nice person and really honest. Here is my business card. And as soon as she handed me the business card, I was like, oh my God, the dream job, because previously I finished HNC and HND in interactive media. That was including all the Photoshop suites, including Illustrator, building website using PHP, HTML, JavaScripts, and stuff like that. I then sent a CV to her, and then I was introduced for an interview. First one was over the phone, the second one back in the office. What Adobe is quite nice is the way they do prepare you for the interview. Like you get set of the question, you need to answer them. You then have a meeting with your manager, and then mostly that's when it started. As soon as I started, I worked for something called customer service for EMIARC. That was including our country, Poland. There was just two people, me and another girl, that we did the support for all Adobe applications, including Acrobat Reader, including Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, mostly everything, all the Adobe packages. The position there lasted for about 2 years, when I mostly dealt with all the big, massive companies back in Poland in Polish language. And then, speaking with all my colleagues at work in English. That means it was mostly like a dual language support.
So were you helping with like localization as like the language support for the Polish kind of region and European region? Wow.
After that, my manager see, okay, Sebastian, you're quite nice with even the escalation of the technical cases or even the complaints from the customers. I'm gonna put you a bit higher, see how you will do with that. That's mean at some point, after in about a year time, I was looking after the escalations, complaints from people that some subscriptions were not working, issues with the CS6, Premiere Pro not making the compositions right and stuff like that. Then after 2 years, Adobe made a decision. They are closing the support for the Polish language.
Was that just down to like a lack of need in the region, or what did that come down to?
Mostly it was, yes. There wasn't a lot of requests coming in, as they said, because I really don't know what was the decision. One day the decision just came in and say, okay, we're closing the Polish support for Polish country. Everything will be served on English chat. And then I got the offer asking if I really want to move for a higher senior tier for technical support for video and design products. That's mostly when all the fans stuff started.
So tell me about this role. What was the title of this particular role, and what did that involve? Because you just mentioned that this is where the fun stuff started. So tell me, what was the job role that you were offered and what that all consisted of?
I got approached by my manager, and she was like, Sebastian, you're really nice. You've got a big experience in design products because of your previously, finishing, HNC and HND. You did manage to get a lot of experience, for being with us for those two years in design and video products. Do you want to take over with a different salary and stuff like that as a senior technical support for video and design? What that all involved, it involved diagnosing the issue for big, massive companies like Warner Bros.,
Okay.
All the games developers are CD ProjektRED.
CD
as
ProjektRED,
example.
everybody.
Yes,
CD
yes.
ProjektRED.
Yeah, that's mostly what I think. So we will talk about later on as well,
Yeah.
because I've got some news I can still share with you guys
Yeah.
here on Ross channel on Gamertags. Yeah, that's mostly when all the fun started. The most recognizable customer I had, it was the director of Deadpool 1.
Yes.
Okay,
Is that Tim Miller? I'm trying to think of the
it
name.
was.
Yeah, Tim Miller,
Yes,
director
it was.
Deadpool 1.
Yes,
Oh my
exactly.
God! All right, come on, give us
I was
all
sit-
the dirt. Come on, give us all the
I was
stuff.
sitting on chat on that time, and I had one of my colleagues from the States team approaching me. It's like, Sebastian, I need help with that case. Someone high up that is a big customer of ours has got the issue with moving the composition from After Effects to the Premiere Pro.
Right.
I didn't
Okay.
know what was that about. Then I answered the call, and he say, "Hello, this is the director of the
Yeah.
Deadpool."
Yeah.
I honestly cannot remember still his name because I was so shocked. And he's like,
Yeah. He's starstruck.
we are producing a movie here that we really need your help. But
Yeah.
before we can do anything else, I need to send you some documents to sign as an Adobe representative,
Of course.
that you
Yeah.
will not leak any of the information
Yeah.
about
So
it.
non-disclosure agreements like
Exactly.
crazy, because this is from
Yes.
Warner Brothers. It's a major movie, hasn't
It
come out
is.
yet, and yeah,
Yeah.
you're getting privy access to all of this
Exactly.
footage. That's
Yeah.
so amazing.
And then mostly I read the documents and the big major, as I'm Marvel fan and all of those, superhero stuff, as soon as I've seen, the big massive writing of Deadpool, I was like,
Yeah.
yes, that is the chance of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Okay, I sent the Weaver, sent it back to them. It maybe lasted for about 2 minutes, and then they click a share screen. And what I could see a beautiful intro that you already guys, most of you seen in cinemas, with Deadpool on the front intro and
Yeah.
the outro of the movie. And the main job for it was to diagnose the issue why the Premiere Pro was showing the error when they tried to drag the composition from After Effects to the Premiere Pro.
Okay.
And after that, I could not even mention that to my colleagues, as you know, and stuff like that.
So even within Adobe, you can talk about it. Obviously, you can't talk
I
about it
could not.
publicly, but even within the company, it was still
No.
NDA.
It was
Wow.
still, yes, it was still. I think so. I was the only person in the world
Yeah.
that got a preview of the full movie, of the intro,
Yeah.
the fierce cutscenes,
Yeah.
still with the the timer of different scenes when they
Yeah.
still were developing all the effects on
Yeah.
it,
Of course.
and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
It was just unbelievable
That's
to
so
see
cool.
that, and even speak with the director of Deadpool, over the phone, having a laugh about it.
Yeah.
I asked some question because he said, "Yeah, just ask the question away because you signed the Weaver anyway. You will not be able to talk about that
Yeah.
anyway."
That's
I'm like,
so
"Okay,
true.
fine. I'm just gonna." When we try
Here's
to
the
resolve
list of
issue here.
questions that I.
Yes, exactly. Honestly, my mind went like switch,
Yeah.
and that was it. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, okay, this is the question. Okay, that I can see that who plays the main role. How long did the movie take you to develop and stuff like that? There was like hundreds of questions
Yeah.
going on it.
My goodness, that must have
Yes.
been absolutely incredible. Wow. Yeah. So what other projects have you been? Did you get like crazy access to, and like what was the day like what was the day to day as you seen your technical lead for Adobe and video?
Yes.
What would that typically like entail? Is it just like mostly support questions, or is it like the Deadpool experience? Is that like out of the blue? That usually never happens, or is that quite
No.
common?
There was quite a different stuff that I really want to talk about this on channel because,
Okay.
as you know, we are gamer guys, as everybody know.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, CD ProjektRED, something big, massive, everybody knows about, Witcher, all the stuff.
That small Polish developer
Exactly.
that has
Yes.
created the Witcher series and is going
Exactly.
to be releasing Cyberpunk 2077 at the end of this year.
Yeah.
Holy shit! This is
Yes.
Okay, I'm excited.
Yeah. Come on, Ross, a bit of the more details about that. That's what I promised to you. Okay. When I was still at Adobe, we had another client that taught a perfect English. Sorry, that spoke a perfect English, and I was still on the support.
Okay.
That was another escalation from me, especially that I was speaking proper Polish as well. And they're like, okay, we've got a Polish advisor that will be able to help you with that. Don't you need to worry about nothing. Let's just, get you connected to him.
Yeah.
As soon as I answered the phone and I heard, the name of the main CEO of CD ProjektRED,
Yeah.
after playing Witchers and stuff like that,
Yeah.
after reading about the Witcher,
Yeah.
that there is a game coming out, and he's like, hello, here is the CEO of the CD ProjektRED. We've got an issue with developing the Witcher game. Could you please help us with the intro movies for the Witcher? And my jaw just dropped.
Wow.
And then I'm like, do you mind if we just speak Polish? Because as you know, I'm a Polish person.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's mostly when my story happened with the developers. That's been the CEO of the CD ProjektRED from this time.
That's phenomenal. So you've been like best buds ever since, kind of thing,
Yes,
and
yes.
very close ever since. And
exactly.
So like they needed help with the introductory movies and animations for The Witcher. Is that from The Witcher 2, or is that like from the very first one, or is it just the third one?
From the very first one, I've been in touch and a full contact with the CEO of CD ProjektRED.
Wow.
We've got each other as a friends on LinkedIn. if you hit me up there and you have a look.
Okay.
Yeah. And mostly what he does every 2 or 3 months, he sends me a message saying, how are you, Seb? Are you still thinking about coming back to Poland? Because you always got a position as a advisor and stuff like that in CD ProjektRED headquarters.
Yeah.
Just hit me up and see,
Yeah.
if you ever.
So if you decide to go back, you could end up being senior technical lead at CD ProjektRED.
Mostly yes.
Holy
yes,
shit,
mostly yes, for all the games and stuff like that. What is quite a good bonus of it is having a direct contact to CEO is that some of the people here, both of us, will receive Cyberpunk 2077 2 weeks before the release date. And some of the merchandise as well.
Holy shit. Shit.
That's the promise from his side that, I will receive one of the copy before the full Cyberpunk is released, just to test it and make some movies on YouTube or something like that.
Sure.
And as I know Ross in person, that's the promise from my side. Online, he will get one of the copies as well for himself, just to have to be the first person to have a shot on it.
My goodness. Yeah. So we're when that time comes, we're definitely going to get back together for another show like this and talk about the game and show some footage of the game and do a proper dedicated show just to Cyberpunk. That is phenomenal. So talk to me a bit about the Witcher stuff, because we're rattling through quite quickly, and I want to really just learn about The Witcher 1 was so small a game way back on. It was only on PC. It was very, well, I guess by modern standards, it's very rough. It was a very small team, very independent, small studio. Nobody had ever heard of them.
Nope.
So your first point of contact was to help them out with the animations, and so tell us specifically what that entailed. What were you doing to help them with those animation sequences?
They had as you know, the CD ProjektRED, before it changed the name, it was called a CD Projekt. After that, they did borrow quite a lot of amount of money. You see all over about the internet about this small studio that they wanted to develop a big massive game called The Witcher. They signed in the contract with the Sapkowski, the owner of the books, of all the Witcher books, and they say, okay, we're gonna create a game about The Witcher. That's mostly when the story happened. I was if they had any kind of the issue with creating animation, of using Photoshop, using Illustrator, using After Effects, using Premiere Pro, they wanted me to be their first contact from the Adobe side.
Okay.
About all the latest releases, about
so is that new features that are coming to workflows, to editing features?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, I was the first contact from Adobe side, to help them out. That's mostly when the full story with CD ProjektRED started from my side.
Yeah.
I've still got the direct phone number to the owner of the CD ProjektRED. Some of the designers in there, I think so. Some of them, I think so, left as far as I know, but yeah, they're still keep in touch with the full team at CD ProjektRED. It's just been a massive experience, seeing a Witcher 1 and then other ones, Wine and Blood expansion being developed by CD ProjektRED and being the first point of contact from Adobe side to have a look how the game is being developed, to even have a proper like Skype chats with all the developing team when I could see the office of CD ProjektRED and a CEO, waving to me and saying, "Hello, Sebastian, how is the weather in Edinburgh? How you doing today?" and stuff like that. And after that, when the game hit like a PC, the first one, it was just such an experience. It was like thinking in my mind, I was a part of that the game is developed, not as being official employee of CD ProjektRED, but just helping them, with all the technical issue they had. And as you know, then you had Witcher 2, all the other expansions, and that it just become massive.
But that was the point where it exploded on the PC scene more than anything.
Yes.
It did get ported eventually to the Xbox 360, but it was first and foremost a PC audience, PC game.
Yes.
And the caliber jump, the quality jump between the first two games is massive. The evolution of the writers to develop these characters, and obviously the tech, it should go without saying that just the massive jump in like lighting engines, rendering engines, the animation engines was a huge jump. And that's when the PC audience really sat up and said, "Holy shit, this is an incredible RPG, and it's come from the small studio." And then it wasn't until Wild Hunt, Witcher 3, that it became a global phenomenon.
Yes.
But that point of seeing like the jump just between the first two games must have been incredible for you, because you've been a part of this when CD Projekt were tiny, almost like I don't want to say insignificant, but so small in the gaming industry that and you must have felt like a proud papa or something to see them evolve and grow and become super popular.
There was about 20 people that started The Witcher. Okay, the first game of Witcher. After that, they just grow and grow and grow and grow, because The Witcher was like a big, massive sale, all the worldwide. As soon as people heard about it, they first played it. Even if you check after reviews, 9.7, 9.8 by all the major gaming communities and stuff like that. I think so. Everybody enjoyed Witcher, even playing of Geralt, as a main story. And then just you even got the Netflix series now. Come on, don't be, you've got a Netflix series. And in my opinion, after I read in all the books in Polish language, after playing all the games, after being part of the CD ProjektRED, it is just a massive experience. I watched like Witcher on Netflix 5 or 6 times already, the full series.
It's fantastic. It's really, really well made. I'm a big fan of the series as well. And I just love the fact that Henry Cavill, Superman himself, was such a fan of the Witcher series on PC, because he's a big PC gamer. That he says, I have to play this role. I want to play this role. It's such a rich character. And you know full well that that's most likely the only reason that Netflix greenlit it, because they've got this megastar who is he is such a geek like us in terms of the characters and the lore and everything, that he was dying to play it. And then so that's easy for executives to say, okay, we can put like 50 million, 100 million behind a series for Netflix because we've got an A-list star who is super excited for it. And that a franchise has hit that kind of mega status where it is so popular that it's got a TV show that now everybody is talking about and watching it. It's transcended the media from this kind of weird little quaint Polish folklore kind of stories into something like mega and massive. And oh god, it's to see that
from my
franchise.
Side of being Polish and maybe half Scottish, as you can say it, for being here for so many years.
You're adopted Scottish now.
Yes, exactly. I'm so proud, that this came from Poland. The book was written by a Polish author, and then you see the massive experience and massive, push forward that it made all over the world. Witcher. everywhere you mention it, The Witcher, everybody knows what Witcher is.
Yeah.
In Polish language, it's called Wiedźmin. That's when they translated it to The Witcher. That's when they called the game. But if you honestly change the name from English to Polish in any of the games, you still got that nice sounding word in Polish language called Wiedźmin. Come on, guys, repeat after me. Wiedźmin. It means
Wiedźmin?
Wiedźmin, yeah, it means Witcher. Yeah, that's mostly when I was so proud. Be honest with you, after the game was released and I knew I was part of it, and I knew, the release date after I got the copy myself,
Yep.
I had these tears standing in my eyes saying I was part of that game and stuff like that.
I can only imagine what it must have been like, because I want to almost say in a similar way to seeing like Black Panther on the big screen for people of color, for the African communities, to seeing their culture getting promoted on such a grand stage. It must have been almost like a similar experience for you to see Polish culture like put up on this amazing stage and treated with such reverence and respect, and done so well that it could only have been done by a small studio that has proven that their talent and craft to then keep it growing and keep it developing into something which ultimately, with The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, became a genre-defining role-playing game, and obviously into the TV shows as well, which I'm super excited for season 2 as well. I can't wait for season 2.
Yes, I cannot wait for season 2 as well, because, but that's the case, as I have read all the books, and I need to say the Netflix did amazing job on it. It's based exactly as the book is, about all the characters being a part of it. Even the style that Geralt fought. I don't know if you guys watched, the few series that he was called of Oblivion. I cannot remember the name.
Okay.
Yeah, but that is based in the books as well.
Right.
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, so it's
unbelievable.
Very true to the novels, which is
the novels,
for an adaptation. That's all we can ask for. I know it was getting attacked a little bit because it jumps around the time frames, and it's not always very clear, I guess, for a viewer who isn't familiar with the novels, and I can understand that. But these shows are first and foremost for the fans, and to hear, because I haven't read the books yet, I do have the collections, just haven't read them yet. But to hear you say it is so true to the books, that's just like wonderful to hear that they've been so respectful to. They haven't tried to westernize it or turn it into something which is a bit more like softer or easier to navigate through and to watch, like a typical formulaic action adventure romance like TV show or a drama. But they've stayed true to the lore and to the original novel. So that is awesome. That's really encouraging.
I honestly can't wait for the second series that will hit, Netflix. I will be all over it. That's 1 week booked of holidays, and just sit in front of the telly,
binge watch
close
it,
the doors, daughter outside, wife shopping, and it's like Seb's time, in front watching the second series.
Oh man,
of Witcher.
That is awesome. So there's a couple of technical things I want to ask you about to do with gaming. And that is this platform that you introduced me to called ShadowTech.
Yes.
So we've been talking a lot about like Google Stadia, like streaming technology, where the future of gaming and like where it's kind of heading. We've got Project X Cloud coming from Microsoft, which some of our viewers and members in the community have actually been using, and they really rate it. It's been working really well for them. So that's really exciting from Microsoft. I tried some Google Stadia. I had some mixed results with Google Stadia. Again, conceptually, I love it conceptually because it means you can just go to your living room, go to another room, go to your phone, whatever, immediately boot up a game and start playing. So concept-wise, 100% behind it. But in practice, it's a bit flaky. It's not that great. But you, sir, you put me on to this other piece of technology called ShadowTech. Tell the viewers all about this.
Okay, the ShadowTech is a company that has been introduced a couple of years ago, and they mostly worked as a pre-orders of all the equipment. How it works, they've got a big, massive server room, You get your own dedicated motherboard, you get your own dedicated storage space, you get your own dedicated RAM, and you get your own dedicated graphic card.
Yes.
You download the app on a Mac, on a mobile phone, on a PC, on a telly, on a Windows, any
Yeah, so it's
platform is
compatible
supported.
across the board.
Yes.
This application is compatible across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called shadow.tech. You can check it online if you've got 5 minutes time and you'll see enough of us with Ross here. It's a really good platform. You download the app, use your login details, you log into it, and what you do, you've got a proper virtual gaming machine.
Yeah. Now,
it's unbelievable.
When you first told me about this, I was super skeptical because
Yeah.
I've tried to run like virtual machines before, and it's never been very good. It's always, especially on a Mac. I mean, things like Parallels and Boot Camp and things like, not Boot Camp, as Parallels that you can run Windows on a Mac.
Yes.
Yeah. So I tried to run Parallels on a Mac and tried to do gaming that way. Horrific, basically, like just really, really poor, like way too power intensive to actually run a game as an emulated machine. But you were very gracious, and you gave me your login details to sample and to test out ShadowTech. And so I had a couple of like a few games already in like a Steam library. So the incredible thing about the ShadowTech is, as you were saying, it is a virtual PC that it sits in Amsterdam or whatever it is in the world that they set you up. And you basically log in like it's a machine, like it's a fully functioning machine right there in front of you, running your Windows, running whatever. You launch Steam on that machine with your normal login details for Steam. You get full access to your Steam library because you've logged in as if you were physically there in front of the PC, and you just launch your Steam games. But the latency is imperceptible. There's no latency at all. The performance is incredible, and it is running virtually in basically like a virtual application. And it blew my mind because I put on Doom 2016, which we all know is a phenomenally fluid first-person shooter, incredibly fast, incredibly intense, and I was blown away by just how good. Not only looked like there was no artifacting of trying like bandwidth, latency, or any of this nonsense.
Exactly.
It was just wild that it did that, and so it's not available to purchase just yet. I think they're releasing properly. They're launching properly at the end of the year, or that was originally the plan.
The plan was as you know, every component you pay a subscription, you pre-order it. Like for say, you pay £12 or £14 a month for it. For that amount, they order you a graphic card, they order you a processor, they order you a motherboard and a storage space. You usually wait for about 3 or 4 months. You've got like a different stages of activation of those ShadowTechs. And I was the lucky first one that managed to get it and log into it before it was released to the public.
You're a QA tester for them, pretty much.
Yes, mostly, yes. After sending them my email, I want to test that and stuff like that. They're like, okay, we're gonna put the first one online for you. And after a week or so, I got the access to it. What is really lovely is if you run the speedtest.net on the side of the virtual machine, you get 900 megabits per second download and 900 megabits per second upload speed on it.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Unbelievable.
So that's another factor as well. It doesn't impact like your local bandwidth connection. It's on their side, their server side, and it's just wild, man. It's like. So nobody's talking about ShadowTech at all. I've never heard of it before you mentioned it. It's all about Stadia. It's all about Project X Cloud.
Yes. Yeah.
PlayStation Now to some degree, but they don't really talk about that anymore. Even though it is a solid cloud streaming service, it still works and still is pretty powerful. But ShadowTech is just gonna kick everybody's ass because, and this is the game changer for me. Stadia, you have to buy digital games from the Google Store. So if those games are removed or whatever, that's you lost access to those games. ShadowTech, you're just renting a virtual PC and it uses your own Steam library. So if, for example, like me, I'm a Mac user, so I can't run like PC games locally, natively or whatever. I have to wait if there's a Mac version for the game, then I can use that, of course. But if I wanted to play a PC game to like an incredible degree in terms of performance and quality, then I have no options like there at all. But ShadowTech allows me to jump on Steam whenever there's a Steam sale or whatever. I can buy a bunch of PC games, log into ShadowTech and use my Steam library, which I've maybe been building up, and just play amazing high-end PC games.
Yes.
Like nothing at all. Like it's such great performance. And it's wild to think that companies like this are pushing this kind of technology way further than you would maybe expect like the bigger companies to be doing it. But this, I don't know how big ShadowTech are. I'm assuming they're a modest size. They can't be small. But what they're doing is really, really interesting. And it's exciting for what that means for like Microsoft going forward once this launches. It's like, oh shit, ShadowTech have just stolen our thunder with this thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What is really lovely is in that you get access as a full administrator to that VM, and you can almost do anything. If something goes wrong with it, you just log into their website, you press reset my shadow, and they reinstall the operating system for you, like without any charge, nothing at all, by a single click. What I did try it is I installed the full Creative Cloud suite on that machine. And then I opened a 4K rendering using the Premiere Pro and After Effects.
Yeah.
And it is unbelievable because you get a NVIDIA GTX 1080 or 1070 Ti.
Yeah.
You get about 8 gigabytes or 16 gigabytes of RAM as well, and it's smooth.
Yeah, so this is
smooth.
another really interesting thing as well, because if you are looking at it not from a gaming standpoint, but from a creative film production or just a standard production standpoint, that you have to render out quite an elaborate visual effects sequence or whatever, you can actually do that on the virtual machine and get that machine to render the thing out render your projects out for you at an incredible performance level as well. So it's not just the gaming applications, it's the production applications which this can add and benefit you as well, which is really, really interesting. And my next not question, but more kind of observation, I guess, is do you think ShadowTech will be offering the new NVIDIA 3080 graphics cards in their virtual machines?
Okay, what I'm gonna say to you, you've got the promise from them. If there is a new graphic card that will hit the market and you've got a subscription with them, they will upgrade that to you free of charge.
Shit, really?
Yes, that's the promise, yeah.
Wow.
As soon as you've got the subscription and the new graphic card from NVIDIA will kick on the market, they've got a promise that they will upgrade that for you free of charge.
Oh, man.
That's mean you would get an email like a week or 2 weeks afterwards saying, okay, we are upgrading your graphic card to the latest release of the NVIDIA. And that would be you. You just pay that monthly subscription for it, you know.
Based on like the bracketing of which you're paying for. I'm paying for a mid-range PC. I'm paying for a high-end PC.
Exactly.
Whatever, and then whatever that criteria is, as the industry moves forward, it just gets like switched out and it gets automatically upgraded.
Say as an example, to build like a proper gaming PC in UK, you're looking at least, I don't know, 2-3 grand, okay, in there. If you take like a mid-range of the subscription, it's about £15 a month, and you've got this access to this machine. You don't need to build it yourself. You get the 60 frames per second, sometimes 120, depending on the package you get from them. And you get like, say, Intel Core i7 quad-core processor or even 8-core processor. You get 32 gigabytes of RAM. You get the NVIDIA GTX 20 or something like that. It's just unbelievable.
That's
for
crazy.
A cheap monthly price.
It's not.
It's
I mean,
like really good.
I got to try and get somebody from ShadowTech on the show to talk through this.
Should.
That would be amazing. We can maybe work together on making that happen, buddy. Because they can really talk us through like everything and what it means for not just the company but for the gaming industry in general as to what they're trying to do. Is that the dog barking? Don't worry, buddy. That's so funny. I'm lucky that my
sorry about that.
Don't worry, it's all good. It's all good. I'm lucky that my dog is in the garden. I've just kicked him out because I knew I was going to be broadcasting. So, oh mate, that is absolutely wild to think that where we are at now, technology across the board, that everything can be run remotely. You and I have been working from home for the past 6 months or thereabouts, 5-6 months?
7 or 8. I think so.
As much as that?
7, 8. It's almost end of the year, Ross. almost end
That's
of the year, and I think so. We've been
crazy.
away from the office
Yeah.
since February or something like that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, man. And but again, what I was saying there is technology is advancing to such a point that like all these other companies are bringing out different pieces of technology that are enable us to not necessarily ever have to go back to an office environment. If you've got a reasonable setup at home,
Yeah,
you can just like keep on motoring as if you're not impacted. We're obviously going to miss out on the day to day like relationships and connections
exactly.
and
Yeah,
that kind of stuff. There's your wife just popped in.
yeah, she did.
That's okay.
Sorry.
But no, it's cool. It's cool. Life, buddy. It's all about life.
Yes.
But it just enables like creators and people with a little bit of technical know-how to do quite incredible things. And I've been extremely fortunate to because like you and I we both love video games, we both love like streaming and that kind of thing. Is so our home setups are kind of like pseudo professional to begin with before this all
Exactly.
happened.
Yeah.
And because of like advancements that have happened over the past few months, I've been able to create this breakfast show, whereas I would never have been able to really do that before because things have had to get pushed out faster because of the like this overnight demand for, oh Christ, we have to work entirely online now. And it is probably the only good thing that's coming out of 2020 is the technology is having to get pushed at a much
Yes.
higher and faster rate. Now, speaking of our hobbies that we love doing, you also run a radio show.
Exactly.
So tell us all about your radio show, man.
Okay. The first idea happened as soon as we went to the lockdown. I was a DJ in my eighth when I came to UK. I was playing in most of the nightclubs from I think so 18 till 21 before I met my wife.
Yep.
I was like a nightclub DJ, playing house dance and trance music. And then I had the idea, we are in lockdown now. We are stuck in the house now.
Yeah.
What would be nice to, go back to hobby as? Let's just create a radio. And
Yeah.
that's
You were
mostly.
an old school raver back in the day, weren't you?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, exactly.
yeah.
That's when I had the idea, okay, I'm gonna open an internet radio station. The idea fused, the name of it was called Gamer Tunes Radio.
Yes.
But after that, I managed to speak with a lot of DJs that I was in contact with previously.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, guys, I'm opening a radio here. It's called Gamer Tunes. Would you want to be a part of it? And
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, why not? Let's give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps us occupied now when we cannot play in the nightclubs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just, get it working. But what we have seen, because we had a lot of shows that were going on in the morning, like a breakfast shows like we do here now, but we had other like husband and wife show going on always on Saturday in the morning. They were like, you know what, the Gamer Tunes Radio, it mostly, the name, it means like it's a gaming station radio.
Sure, yeah, it's you're narrowing your demographic really, maybe too much, yeah.
And after that, we just like, you know what, we're just gonna do a full complete rebrand of it, and we now are calling it Crucial FM. That's mean if someone is interested, just go to www.crucial.fm and you can have a look.
So it's crucial.fm.
FM,
okay,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's mean if someone is interested in, listen to us live and stuff like that. And the major now stuff was that we are the officially sponsored by Restream.io as well as a radio. That's been Restream, yes, it's our official sponsor as well.
So they gave you like the top of the line package.
Yes.
So what kind of features does that include, and what has that done for the radio station?
What it does, we've got a couple of DJs that they got own personal Facebook profiles, like called, like, say, DJ Dorman, DJ Squeaky Squeak, and stuff like that. By a single touch of click, you can stream, your radio music, the mixes you are doing live. When the camera is looking at your mixing console, they can still hear your voice. You can stream it to Facebook, Twitch, and all of the private and social channels you've got over the Facebook. It's been quite a big help, to be honest with you, especially to add something new to all the radios that are out there, the internet ones.
Yeah.
It's just like a really good addition. We're still testing the system though, because as you know, you need to install a virtual card on your laptop to be able to grab the sound, to put it into the Restream.
Okay,
as you cannot use your headphones or the microphone, it needs to be configured differently.
Okay.
And at the same time, you need to stream the soundtracks to your radio.
Okay.
And as a radio, we are covered by the PPL license to stream the music online
So
as a
I was
small
I was going to ask
webcaster
about that.
license.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that because a lot of like streamer like music whilst you're streaming is not necessarily a new thing. A lot of top streamers
Yes.
play music that they have to make sure is not like infringing on any kind of copyright, or it gets muted by Twitch or other platforms like YouTube. There's a copyright flag.
Yeah.
So are the DJs like is it their own music, or are they getting like other music and then sampling that, and like how are they getting around the DRM side of things like that? Is it because they have a license, or is it because they're doing their own music?
There is a lot of DJs that they are already got like a DJ insurance. They got a subscription for one of the website that it covers you for PRS and PPL license to
Okay.
download the music and be able to play them for the crowd.
Okay.
But as for the radio, we've got the player playing in the background. That's mean the radio is always 24/7 playing the music for you. We needed to apply for the license called the PPL license
Okay.
to stream the music online as a small webcaster license.
Okay.
It's around £150 a year.
Okay.
If we do not generate more as a radio than £2,000 a year. It's
Oof.
mostly funded
Okay.
from our own pockets, from
Sure.
all the DJ pockets.
Yeah,
The radio
yeah.
is fully funded by us.
Yeah.
We're still looking for sponsors from small businesses and stuff like that to help us even to pay for the subscription that we pay every month, for this. But there is a lot of shows going on, a lot of like different music, 90s, 80s, 70s,
Yeah.
house, trance, dance, everything you can look for.
And
there will
if you have an
Yes.
Amazon Alexa,
Yes.
come on, tell
Exactly.
me about this.
Yeah. Okay. As you know, Amazon Alexa, you've got your Echo devices, you've got your, Echo Dot and stuff like that. We managed to develop an application called the Amazon Skill
Okay.
that you can ask your now Alexa, open Crucial Radio, and then she will just play, our station inside.
Yeah.
Oh, my Alexa just
just came on.
Yeah, if you can hear it, yeah,
I can't hear it, so it's okay. It's not coming through.
Alexa, stop. She just came on as soon as I said it. You need to install the skill for the radio as you do
Okay.
the skills for every of the application you want to
Okay.
use it,
Okay.
and then you just ask her a question. But for Amazon to accept that skill for the online radio, we needed to apply for the PPL license. It needed to be approved by the UK streaming services before
Right.
the Amazon would accept us in the radio.
Yeah. So how complicated?
Alexa, stop.
Is she still playing in the background?
Yeah, she's still playing the music in the
Oh,
background.
that's cool. So how complicated was that whole process for you to work with Amazon to get that to get the application, not just the application built, but to submit it to Amazon to get it to work on people's
It's
Alexas?
quite difficult to build it because you need to set it up as Amazon Alexa is a really new way of coding the application. You create a code on JMS, and then you've got like Alexa can reply to the stuff you ask her to do.
Yeah.
After that, we needed to create a stream included in the Amazon Alexa as well.
Okay.
We wanted to implement the schedule to Alexa as well. That means if you ask her a question, who is playing today or stuff like that, it will tell you the DJ's name and stuff like that on the device, or it will display you this full schedule from our website onto your Echo device.
Wow.
It has been quite. Yeah, we worked for about 2 weeks to publish that to Amazon store as soon as we got the license from the PPL. After that, it was accepted, and we were like, okay, it's amazing. Let's just test it. Let's just push it to our Facebook pages.
Yeah.
Let's just push it, on the website itself and see how that works out.
That's wild, man. That's wild. So, well, I mean, congratulations for
Thank you.
for taking this small hobby project into something that is just growing and growing, and
Yeah.
the fact that you've managed to get it through like Amazon's approval system must be that's an incredible achievement as well, mate.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to check it out myself. I still haven't got around to actually listening to the radio show, but I got to, and I know the passion that you have for music, so I can easily recommend it to all of our viewers as well. So good times, because sometimes it's just good to just like put on some tunes and just block out the world and
Exactly.
and just have
Yes.
some mellow time of or head banging rave time as well. So it's a
Yes.
real kind of mix of good tunes. So awesome, man. So
It was.
before we wrap up things, is there what bring it back to gaming just a little bit? Is there anything that you're obviously we talked about CD by Project Red and Cyberpunk? We're obviously massively looking forward to that. But is there anything else that's on the horizon that you're like really excited for, or what are you playing just now?
Okay, the current game I'm playing, I don't know if you ever guys heard about it, it's called EP9. It's like this based Star, something similar to Star Citizen that is in
Yeah.
development now. It's like MMORPG game when you've gone the bases, you fight with the ships and stuff like that. That's been quite a big game since like, oh my God, I don't know, 1999 or 2002 or
Okay.
2005. I cannot
It's been
remember
going
it.
for a long time, man. Yeah.
It is, yes. What is really lovely about that game, that every item that is in the game is created by players. It runs its own market deals or market values. It just has like this big, massive automotion going on in it. If you ever have a chance, just put in Google if online, have a look. There is a lot of going on. I promise you, if you download it and start playing it,
Yeah.
it will just keep you going
Yeah, it will
for
swallow
months
your
and years.
life like crazy. Yeah.
I was born in the game in 2012, okay? And I had the account since then,
Okay.
2012.
That's insane, man. That's
It's like
insane.
mostly when you're trying to train like one of the skills inside the game, it takes like 22 days before it's fully trained. It's like based on like a proper life and stuff like that, when you
Yeah.
can fly with different ships, mine asteroids, mine ice fields, mine ore fields, do the planetary exploit, moon mining, different ships, just moving the stuff around different
Yeah.
ports. You can create your port in there, your refineries, everything. Warp to a different destinations.
Wow.
If someone is a big fan of like a space games, I would really recommend of
Yeah.
getting that. And another game, as I say, I'm quite a big fan of all the games, pacing, games,
Yeah.
is the Star Citizen. That's been is
So
the
have you played Star Citizen then?
I
Like
did.
so
I've got the account in there as well.
so okay. Every
Yeah.
time I see footage of Star Citizen, it really blows me away because the ambition of this crowd-funded game just
Yeah.
it looks constantly like impossible. So,
Yes.
what's your experience of that? Is it like working? Is it good? Is there
Be honest
content and
with
stuff
you,
there?
the Star Citizen is like a really good game. The graphics on it and the developing that was lasting for I don't know how many years now, when it's like crowdfunded. I don't know, they hit I think so 40 millions or something like that, or even more than that. I didn't check their website for quite a long time when we were developing the games. As soon as I've seen the walkthrough movies, as you approach the planet, you want to land on the planet with your
Yes.
big massive cruising ship with all the equipment on the back, and you approach the planet and you can see that all the buildings, all the people just appearing in front of your cockpit,
Okay.
all the buildings growing in front of it, and then you need to lower your gear, you
Okay.
need to put your engines to stop, and you need to land it in the certain location.
Yeah.
Then you get out of the ship and you've got this animation of like bars going outside the ship. You go down, you see those airs hissing, you need to go to the back
Yeah.
door,
The
you need to say
detail.
hi to the guy. You open the back door and you can see them like driving inside your ship with like a pallet truck and just moving the stuff around to the base.
It's
It's
truly
just like a
insane, man. Yeah.
proper life done in
Yeah,
space.
it's like full sim, isn't it?
It is
It's
like a full
unbelievable,
sim
unbelievable,
simulator.
man. Well, guys, Seb, thank you very much for joining me
Thank you
today.
very much.
All of our viewers, thank you very much for tuning in. This has been episode 9 of the Weekend Catch Up Club. Seb, again, I can't thank you enough. You brought so much like fun and humor and like trivia and like background to some great topics today.
Yes, especially wife walking in the middle of the stream. Sorry about that.
Don't worry about it. It's totally fine.
As you all know, we've been stuck in house for so many months. You know, not living. Some people just get used to the certain things. They like forget you're working on. You need to do something, and they just like approach. Yeah, hello there and stuff.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you to everybody who's been tuning in today. This has been the Weekend Catch-Up Club. Do remember to like, share, hit subscribe if you're catching up on YouTube. Tell your friends about it, and we'll see you again next week for more. Take care. Have a good week. Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye-bye.